The next part of the grammar for this unit deals with the perfect tense. As we learned in the past, the perfect tense includes haber plus a past participle. For the regular verbs, the past participle is formed by dropping the AR and adding ado, or dropping the ER and IR and adding ido. For the pluperfect, the pluscuamperfecto, plu means past, so we use the past perfect to talk about things that had happened. We're going to use the imperfect of the verb haber and then the same participio pasado we have used in other lessons. The forms of haber in el imperfecto, había, habías, había, habíamos, and habían. And this part of the formula is going to give us our subject. The first use of the past perfect is to say what had happened before another past event or point of time in the past. For example, the first sentence is just preterite. Este verano fuimos a España. We went to Spain. The second sentence, nunca antes habíamos ido a España. Never before had we gone to Spain. In the third sentence, ayer recogí los boletos que había reservado la semana pasada. Yesterday I picked up the tickets that I had reserved last week. The thing that happened first was that you had reserved the tickets. The second action is more recent. The second use is with indirect speech, with declarative verbs. We talked about sequence of tenses, and when the declarative verb in the first clause is in the past tense, we learned that we could use conditional, and in this case we could also use the past perfect. If you look at the second example, el piloto anunció is the preterite, que el avión de Quito había llegado. The pilot announced that the plane from Quito had arrived. In the previous example, the declarative verb is in the present, anuncia, so therefore we use the present perfect. These are some of the irregular participles that we talked about in the beginning of the course. And also remember, if you have any type of pronoun, you cannot separate the form of haber from the participle. It must come in front. A few sentences of practice. Last Saturday, Mario had gone out. That would be the past perfect, había salido. And they announced, again, the declarative verb is in the past, that the travelers had fastened. And also in that second example, you can see the placement of the se habían abrochado. The second part of the lesson dealt with the future perfect. Again, since it's a perfect tense, we're going to be using a form of haber with the participio pasado, which is still ado or ido. The thing that will change is the form of haber, because we changed the tense. So we want to use the future of haber to say who will have done an action. Remember, haber is irregular, the stem is ab, and then we add our appropriate endings. The first use of the future perfect is to say what will have happened by a certain point in time in the future. So rather than just saying the plane will land or will arrive soon, we could make a future reference by saying within an hour the plane will have landed, which is the second example. Or in the third example, for the year 2025, doctors will have found, habrán descubierto. Another use is to express a guess or a supposition about something that may have happened in the past. So for example, Andrés llegó con retraso, he arrived late. So we're guessing about why he may have arrived late, so he must have missed the train. We use the future perfect to communicate that, habrá perdido. A couple sentences for practice. By 2 o'clock, we will have done, which is the future perfect, habremos hecho, and again, hacer es irregular. And in 5 years, Mrs. Hoffman will have traveled. So we're making a future reference, will have traveled, habrá viajado. They must have left, we were guessing, ya habrán salido. The word ya means already.